I gotta get a new battery in mine too. Wouldn't open the pickup door. All right, we will call the meeting to order. Kristen, would you want to take a roll call, please?
Commissioner Corbin?
Here?
Commissioner Johnson?
Here.
Mayor Lindsay?
Here?
Commissioner Waldner? Commissioner Phil?
Here.
Okay. You have before you the agenda for this evening.
Move to approve the agenda. Second?
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Seeing no appearances or acknowledgements, is there anything you want removed from the consent calendar?
Motion to approve consent calendar.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Seeing no old business under new business, authorize the mayor to sign the agreement with the South Dakota DOT for the detention pond, drainage improvements, wetland mitigation, and fencing. And Chad, would you want to address that, please?
Yes, I can. Thank you, Your Honor. This agreement is an agreement for the state's portion of the airport project that you had considered previously, I believe, on early September, I guess it'd be 2 weeks ago, I believe, where we met last time and talked about this. And you approved all the FAA components. This is simply a companion agreement for the state's 5% portion. The other 5% is local for the upcoming projects that are planned there. The detention pond that's listed here, the detention pond, drainage improvements, and wetland mitigation and fencing. So just the state's portion.
Okay. Questions or comments?
Why do we have to approve this?
Why?
Yeah.
If we want to utilize those dollars that are available from the state, then we have to go through and approve it. Otherwise, we wouldn't be able to use their 5%.
Otherwise, our 5 goes to 10.
Yep.
So, do we have a motion?
I'll make a motion, we approve the South Dakota DOT AIP 3-46-029-013-2016 detention pond drainage improvement, wetland mitigation fencing.
Second?
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Authorize the mayor to sign the agreement, Lewis and Clark Rural Water System Incorporated, amend section 2.3.2A of amended and restated commitment agreement, the ARCA. And again, I'm going to ask Chad to address that, please.
Yes, thank you, Your Honor. What this does is, there's a part of what's referred to as the ARCA, the amended and restated commitment agreement, that says that essentially the Lewis and Clark can't use what's the term here? Capital improvement fund, basically, capital improvement replacement fund, until such time that the system's completed. Well, when those agreements were made and such like that, we anticipated a much higher funding levels, a much shorter time of completion, and as we know, because of the way funding's coming in from the federal government, some of this equipment could reach its life cycle.
Exactly.
And so, by the letter of the law, or by the letter of the current ARCA, if we don't have this changed, technically you wouldn't be able to use those funds for that. And so, rather than jockeying with the budget and just moving it to a different reserve and sort of circumventing it on the board, it seemed to be an appropriate step to make this change, to take out the component that says that it can't be used until after completion of the construction.
Right.
If we amend it to do that, which is what this amendment does, then in this interim time frame, while we could be still receiving money from the federal government and not technically be complete up to 20 years, we've been think it's 5 to 7 years now, we've already been in operation. Some of that's gonna reach its life cycle and be replaced. We wouldn't be able to do that. And so all the members, all the different governing bodies, this is not just a vote of the board, has to approve this. The board of directors did recommend approval after they had consulted with their various bodies, or at least individual members of their commissions and boards. They recommended to approve it, and it is the belief that everybody will approve it to take care of this this issue, or this language that is warranting change. So I would recommend approve it, and I shared it with David, and if there's any other questions, I'd be happy to try to answer them. I believe,
And I don't have any concerns. I think
I was
it's
just gonna ask
attempting- It's attempting to get back to what the original intent was.
Yeah, the original intent was that by now, everything would be taken care of, and the federal government would have, brought things along on their normal path, and everybody be on board, and everything would be working.
That's right.
So,
The after construction language didn't contemplate
right.
really who knows how long before construction is complete. I mean, no one knows that right now.
Not at this point, no. And every state so far has had to get creative, including us. So, all right, questions or comments?
I've heard this referred to as a no-brainer. What does it mean if we oppose it?
Well, you might, but you probably have to take out the no.
It's probably not, that maybe is not the best term, and we've talked about that on the board level, and because there is reasonable discussion that can be had about every issue, but.
And what would happen in that situation, and that is rates would go up to take care of that equipment that is sitting there in a reserve, and that reserve would not be able to be used for its intent until after everything is completed. So what would happen is the rates would go up to cover those pieces of equipment that need to be replaced in the interim.
Do they even need to use this money, or are they just preparing for when they do?
There's been occasions recently where they've had to look at using those funds, but it's minor. It's mostly in anticipation of future needs.
I'll make a motion to approve item 2 on the agenda.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Seeing no announcements, no executive session, do we have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Thank you, everyone.